Hello, my name is Shannon, and I'm excited to bring you a creative focus on the symphony of the human body. Inspired by the compelling passage, Understanding the Landscape of the Human Body, by author Celine Hill, this unique perspective reimagines how we explore vital organs like the brain, heart, lungs, liver, and kidneys. Rather than traditional textbooks, this journey unfolds through the lively settings of coffee shops and the dramatic flair of stage plays, turning complex anatomy into a vibrant, relatable experience. Whether you're a college student, a professor, or simply curious, come enjoy this conversational ride into the pathways and functions of the body, where science meets storytelling in the most unexpected ways.
The innovative medical journal, Understanding the Landscape of the Human Body, by author Celine Hill, creates a unique approach by employing characters engaged in lively conversations across diverse settings. Rather than the typical dry presentation of facts, the passage crafts narratives where relatable characters, each with their own distinct personalities and backgrounds, meet medical concepts organically. The passage aims to foster an appreciation for a lifelong commitment to understanding and caring for the health and well being of individuals and communities. The students are encouraged to view learning as a journey rather than a destination.
Setting: a coffee shop, late afternoon. Characters: Sarah, a diligent and enthusiastic medical student. Mark, a curious and bright individual not in the medical field. Sarah is studying notes. Mark sips his coffee.
You have been buried in those notes for hours. What have you so engrossed today?
Just going over the major organ systems, it is fascinating how everything is so interconnected. I mean, the human body really is an incredible piece of engineering.
Oh, like how exactly? I get the basics. Heart pumps blood, lungs breathe, but it feels like there is more I am missing.
Exactly. Think of it as a symphony. Every organ, from your brain to your kidneys, is a crucial instrument, playing its part to keep everything in harmony. We depend on our kidneys to filter our blood, the lungs to get oxygen, the liver to process nutrients. It is all so intricate.
So, like if one instrument is out of tune, does the whole thing suffer?
Precise. And that's why annual checkups are so important. Doctors are looking for any little sign of disharmony early on, but the thing that is really fascinating right now is the intense research going into certain organs.
Which would be? You mentioned the brain and the heart. I can see why those would be important.
Yes, those are at the top of the list. The heart, this constant pump keeping circulation, it is unbelievable how vital it is. And yet, it is so susceptible to things like heart attacks, strokes. They are among the deadliest conditions worldwide. So there's constant research on everything from genetic predisposition to minimally invasive surgery techniques aimed at making it better.
That makes sense. And I guess the brain, being the control center for everything, would also be a big focus. I read about Alzheimer's being on the rise.
It is devastating, along with Parkinson's and strokes. Scientists are dedicating their lives to understanding brain wiring, neurotransmitters, the effects of aging, you name it. It is all to find better treatment and even repair damaged brain tissue one day.
Wow. So, heart and brain. Understandable. What else is on the high priority list?
Well, then there are the kidneys, those tireless filtration organs. They regulate our blood and keep all those chemicals balanced. Kidney disease is incredibly dangerous, leading to all sorts of complications, including heart problems. So, they are also looking into early detection and treatments like dialysis and transplants, plus now even regenerative medicine.
So, kidneys, heart, brain, that makes sense. But you said certain organs. Are there more?
Of course, while the focus is on the heart, brain, and kidneys, there's also major research into the lungs, intestines, and liver, each playing a critical role in their own unique way. But you must admit there is things special and critical about that first group of organs.
So, it sounds like these specific organs are being focused on because they have the biggest impact on overall health.
Exactly. They are the cornerstones of our vitality. The research being done on them is crucial for improving our health and longevity.
That's humbling. It is amazing how we rely on these complex systems, often without even realizing it. I am going to be more mindful of my own health now.
That is great to hear. And it really is a thing to think about. The human body truly is a marvel.
Both are quiet for a moment, contemplating the complexity of it all. Scene 2. Setting: Mark and Chloe are sitting at a table with textbooks and notes spread out.
Okay, so I finally understand the blood flow thing, at least according to this Science Notes article from 2025. They are saying it is the definitive path, right?
That is what it sounds like. Do you mean the path of blood through the heart one? It is supposed to be reputable, a bit advanced even. Everything must come from a reputable source, you know?
Exactly. Okay, so it starts with deoxygenated blood, right? All the used up stuff from our bodies. It travels back through our veins.
Yes, the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava. I keep picturing them like big highway on-ramps, bringing all that deoxygenated stuff to the heart. The superior one manages the upper body, and the inferior manages the lower body.
Yes. And those dump it into the right atrium. It is thinner than the left, but important for receiving all that waste-filled blood. Also, it gets the heart waste removed.
Right? And the coronary sinus, that weird little set of veins just for the heart muscle itself, also empties into there. So the right atrium is a bit of a cleanup crew.
Then, the tricuspid valve. It is like a bouncer, only letting blood go one way, down into the right ventricle.
Yes, 3 little flaps, keeps it all flowing in the right direction. So then into the right ventricle, which is a pouch shape, right?
A crescent pouch, they said. And that guy's job is to pump blood to the lungs, through the pulmonary arteries, which are special.
They carry deoxygenated blood. Every other artery carries oxygenated blood, but not that. It is a bit of an exception.
Right, so the blood goes to the lungs to drop off the CO2 and pick up that sweet, sweet oxygen?
Then it comes back through the pulmonary veins, and those are also backwards. They carry oxygenated blood when every other vein carries deoxygenated blood.
Exactly, it heads into the left atrium. So that is the second receiving chamber, also relatively thin-walled.
Then the left ventricle is waiting, ready to go. It is the strongest one, the real powerhouse.
Yes, it has those huge muscular walls, and they pump the oxygenated blood out through the aortic valve and into the aorta.
The main artery of the whole body. It is like the grand central station of blood flow that supplies the entire system, and from there, it splits into smaller arteries everywhere.
Right, and they mention the valves are key. Everything must flow in a precise direction. The tricuspid valve is between the right atrium and ventricle, the pulmonary between the right ventricle and pulmonary artery.
And do not forget the mitral valve, which is between the left atrium and left ventricle, and the aortic valve from the left ventricle to the aorta. They are the gatekeepers, keeping the blood flowing one way.
So, the valves are crucial, preventing any backflow. They make sure the blood is constantly moving forward in that perfect loop.
Okay, I understand it now. It is like a well-oiled, super efficient machine. That article was worth it.
Definitely. Let us just hope we can remember it all for the exam.
The two students finish their conversation about the human anatomy and leave the stage once more. This has been a highlight and passage creation of Understanding the Landscape of the Human Body by author Celine Hill. Join us again this week for another audiobook with Celine. Have a great Monday and see you soon.